All right, what's going on? We're doing a little quick play, sitting down and playing some Project Warlock. You ready?
Oh, my body's ready, man. This opening cutscene, well, not cutscene, but screen is just all hype, man.
What do you think? Look at this. What do you think this is? Just from looking at the screen.
I think this is a combination of like Doom meets D&D meets some funky heavy metal verse.
Okay, all right. Well, let's get into it here. So this is Project Warlock. I was just browsing my, GOG, my personal adult playground, and I found that there was a kind of a sale going on for this game, so I picked it up for $4, and just started playing it, and I've been having fun with it. So I decided I would cover this. So yeah, we're just gonna jump in here real quick. I'll explain this stuff later because I don't really want to. Let's just get into what the game really is about here. I'll do this one first. Yeah.
Already, it kind of looks like that era of like Doom and Wolfenstein type of game.
Yes, right.
But I'm really digging the cell shaded kind of feel from this. I don't know if it's cell shaded, but like just the art style looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, I don't know if this is cell shaded, but there's definitely okay. I can't play levels I've played before, so I'm just gonna go in blind here.
Okay.
New level. Yeah. So this game it's interesting because like the story behind this game is also pretty interesting. Because as far as I know, this game was made by one dude, programmed by like an 18-year-old kid who did it while he was in high school.
And did he draw everything himself?
I don't know. I just know that he's the main developer. But oh, that did so much damage to me. So when I played this game, I didn't know anything about it. I just picked it up because it was on sale for $4, and I was like, "This looks cool," just from the screenshots. And my very early impression of it was like, "Wow, this is like kind of like Wolfenstein, Heretic, and Doom,"
Yeah.
But not quite Doom, because it's actually in a weird way a little more primitive than Doom was, because as you can see, like these corridors are very claustrophobic, very closed in. Like the roof, the ceiling is like the height of my guy.
Yeah, I see that now.
Which is very like Catacombs, Wolfenstein. Like it's like we're talking earlier than Doom.
Yeah.
So it actually reminds me more of those games than Doom does, despite the fact that it's like a sprite-based first-person shooter. But it's way faster and like way more visceral than Catacombs was, than Wolfenstein was, and there's just way more going on than either of those games.
And there's one thing that I noticed off the start when you're in your first area, just like looking around. You have stats and experience points. Now, I don't usually think of that when I think of like a Wolfenstein type of game.
Yeah, so I'll get... So just bring that back up after we get out of this level, because you do get XP, which was really not a thing in those old games. So I'm just gonna kind of play it, like a straight up FPS.
Yeah.
But yes, that is a factor, and I don't know how to... Okay, here we go. Nice.
So is it easy or hard to get lost in this game? Because you seem to be having a bit of trouble finding your way.
Yeah, I don't know. You got the little mini-map, which is pretty helpful. I don't know of an actual larger map. Like, I know Wolfenstein has a larger map. You can like press a key to bring it up, which is pretty nice, which is something I wish this game had, that to my knowledge doesn't have. But the levels are not that expansive. They're not that big like the ones that I've played so far.
Mm-hmm.
So it hasn't been too bad. Oh, this looks like a secret. Yeah. And I'm getting XP for these treasures, right? So like you want to find secrets because you're gaining XP, which you will spend on stuff that I will show you later. Okay, this is bad right now because I don't have a lot of ammo. I'm using like my melee weapon here. So I'm gonna just chop these suckers down.
Yeah, this kind of sprite-based art style really adds to like a new kind of feel of horror when they get up close and personal with you. Like, it looks real visceral compared to, say, like an early Wolfenstein.
Oh yeah, this is very different. Yeah, it's way faster and obvious and like, in my opinion, like way more fun and varied than Wolfenstein ever was. So it's like it's weird because it's kind of anachronistic in that way. It's like these tight corridors, very straight, simple hallways of Wolfenstein, but then you have like actual like interesting mechanics and like a wide variety of enemies. So it has like modern sensibilities mixed with old school gameplay. So it's anachronistic in that kind of way. It's like this game looks like it came out of that era, but it would have been impossible back then to do this. But like this dynamite move, like this is just straight out of Blood, you know, and I get like some serious Blood vibes from this. And like reading about the guy who developed this, it's like he made this game because he had good memories of playing the Heretic, Blood, and Doom with his dad, so he made this game. And it's like, yeah, if I could pick 3 games that this game reminds me of, like it's those 3.
So as a first-person shooter aficionado, you would say this is like a love letter to the FPS genre?
This is a love letter to the early 90s FPS genre. Like, this is for a very specific subset of FPS players. So I don't know, like, if you were not of this time, I don't know if this is something you would like. I honestly couldn't say. Because I'm loving this. Like, one thing that, like, I immediately like about this is the movement. Like, look how fast I'm going. This is, like, he's not quite as fast as Doom Guy, but he's, like, getting there, and that pleases me greatly. And, of course, the shotgun, the workhorse of the early 90s FPS games. You need, if you want a good game, you gotta have a good shotgun, and this game's got a pretty good one.
Would you say the shotgun is pretty balanced or OP?
So right now I'd say my shotgun is pretty balanced. It's like, which is what the shotgun should be. It should be your workhorse weapon. It should be your fallback. The gun you can always rely on. Steady damage, but not overpowering. I mean, Doom kind of changed the rule book on that when they released Doom 2, and they gave you the double barrel shotgun. It just completely changed the rules for what shotguns can do, because that gun is crazy. But yeah, this is like a very good workhorse weapon. But the thing is like, with your XP and, you know, upgrades and stuff, I'm almost dead. With your XP and stuff, you can upgrade your weapons to do different things, and there are different upgrade paths, and you can't choose both. So, like, my pistol, this little, like, revolver thing, when it starts, it's just a normal kind of FPS pistol, low damage, but pretty accurate. But the upgrade path I chose for it was the hand cannon upgrade path. So I went all Barry on it. I have this and turned it into a hand cannon. It's a very powerful pistol. But the other upgrade path, I don't know what it is, but it's not this. It is probably the opposite of this.
Now, looking at your screen, I see like a whole bunch of numbers and colors. Like there's like a red 23, a blue 50, a green 80 out of 90. So what do all those numbers mean?
Yeah, so the on the left, the blue is my mana. So there's magic in this game. The only magic I have is this light thing, which is useless. So, and to my knowledge, it doesn't even cost mana. And then the red is my health, so I'm almost dead, as you can see from my portrait. I do have this staff that costs mana, I guess. The only thing I have right now that costs mana is this, but I'm gonna guess that you get spells later on, and then you can spend your mana on that. And then the green is just your ammo for whatever gun you're carrying on the right.
And what's the 4 mean that's next to the 23?
I think that's my lives. So yeah, this game has lives. It's like we haven't had lives in a first-person shooter since Wolfenstein, I think. Yeah, but the thing is, like, it's part of the game mechanic, so it's like, I haven't died yet, and I think I'm gonna die very soon here. But the episodes of this game are not very long. But I can't save right now. I can quit or restart the chapter.
Okay.
So I have to beat this chapter in this session with my 4 lives. I can get more lives by finding secrets or finding them in the level. But I will just straight up get a game over if I lose all my lives here.
And how long is like each mission generally? Like how many stages or levels is it?
Yeah, each mission I'd say can be completed in like 5 to 8 minutes on average, and there's like 3 or 4 of them in a chapter. So
okay.
It's not like you can beat a chapter in like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So it's not long. So, like, the no-saving thing is fine. I thought it would bother me, but it doesn't really bother me, because they're very short, very bite-sized. They're not the same as, like, the chapters in Doom. Oh, man, another thing I gotta mention about this, like, a very important aspect about these kinds of shooters, I don't know what to call them, we'll just call them early 90s FPS, is...
Wolfensteins.
Well, not even Wolfenstein, because Wolfenstein didn't even get this right, really, because Wolfenstein has no weapon variety. All the guns do the same thing in that game. There's no variety in that game whatsoever. So it's like, it's not right, really, to compare this to Wolfenstein, even though it looks like that. It doesn't play like that, and honestly plays way better than that. But the thing that this game really nails is there's, like, the enemy variety. The enemies all do kind of different things. And so, the best of these games become threat management, where you have to look at the enemies that are coming at you and prioritize the ones that need to go down first. And then with that prioritization comes the choice of which weapon to use, because as like those armored knights with the shields, they don't give a damn about my bullets, so I have to hit them with the explosives, so I gotta switch to my dynamite to get rid of them first. And the thing is, with this kind of a game, is you're constantly juggling your weapons to use the correct weapon against the appropriate enemy. Because that's part of the gameplay, the core gameplay, is juggling your weapons and managing your threats. Now, if a game like this has slow weapon switching, like in Soldier of Fortune, this doesn't work. None of this works, and it all feels bad, and it's just bad, and you don't want to play it anymore. But this game does it well, because, like, look how fast I can switch my weapons. Look how fast this is. So responsive, so fast, and it's a key element that I think, like, could get overlooked, but they really nail it here, because the weapon switching is super fast and responsive, and you need that in this kind of a game where you're juggling weapons and you're constantly having to assess multiple threats.
Yeah, the speed of the weapon changes keeps up with the speed of the gameplay. Because like as I'm watching you play, like you're just booking it around the stage really quickly.
Yeah.
And so if even not even just from a mechanical point of view, but just from like a thematical point of view. If your weapon switching isn't as fast, you're like,
it's gonna feel bad.
It's gonna feel bad and take you kind of out of the moment. So, what is the actual story of this game? What is the lore?
I don't know. The story is a text blurb at the beginning of the level, which I didn't read, so that's the story.
Okay, so it's you're just fighting demons. It's almost kind of like Doom Guy.
It's the what was it? That old John Carmack quote. It's the John Carmack approach. The story in a game is like as important as a story in a porn. It's there.
It is. Well, you know, some people really take their stories in porn seriously.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're one of those guys, then you know you might be disappointed in this game. I don't know.
So it's just there to just set the scene, and then doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
But one of the first upgrades I got was the movement speed, like to make you move faster, because that's just like movement is king in these kind of games. Like you just have to be on the move, you have to be quick, because you can't take that much damage. So that's just another thing that just makes this game so fun for me, is just how fast it is. Like I like games that have fast movement like this. It's just fun and satisfying and stimulating and interesting to me.
And I keep seeing when you fight the spiders, you get hit with their web and it shows up on the screen. What does that do to you?
Oh, I think the webs are just in the environment, actually.
Okay. So there's no status effects?
Nah, it's just blocking my vision and just being annoying.
Okay.
That's all I know about that. But man, like, it's so weird. Like the feeling I get from this game is it's very strange, because it's like old but new. It's like a clashing of like video game ideologies from different eras come together and make something that's like actually pretty coherent and good. I think I must be pretty close to the end of the chapter. E1, and look at the name of the level, like E1, like M11.
Castle, the battlement.
That's just what the Doom levels are called. E1, M1, like. Oh, we got some stuff going on here.
A lot of shenanigans in this one.
Oh, this is like kind of an open map. This is kind of alright. It's not all like catacombs and dungeons.
So you got your health, but I know like in Doom and I think Wolfenstein had it, you can get armor. Do you get anything like that in the game?
I haven't so far. It's mostly like they keep it pretty bare bones and simple in this game. I think it's just health and mana. And I don't think there's any other game mechanics to speak of in this game. They keep it pretty simple, which I like, actually. Like you can't even jump. Like there's no jump key.
Just easy, simple. Anyone can anyone could pick up and play this game without too much of a problem.
Yeah. Anyone, yeah. Whether or not you'll like it, though, I think will probably depend on when you were born and what kind of games you played as a kid. That was a really sticky situation there, but I'm alive.
Somehow you came out alive, man. That was good movement.
I like the music too, man. It's groovy. Cool soundtrack. You gotta have a good soundtrack in these games, man. Because there's not much else to do.
No, it's just you might be stuck in quarters for a while, so you gotta have some jams.
You might as well jam some good music, yeah. I like how simple it is. I don't have to solve puzzles or anything. Oh yeah, so that's the other thing I wanted to talk about is, do you see how that like demon like popped out of that night?
Yeah.
Like that's just straight out of Shadow Warrior, man. Like so, Heretic is kind of like, I guess it's like Doom but with magic and demons.
Okay.
And it's cool. I liked it a lot. And then the sequel to the game, Hexen, was like went even further in that direction, where you had like maces and flails, and it was super cool looking. But I hated the game, honestly, because like they were just the puzzles were too much. Like that game had so many instances where you like see a button and you press it and it opens a door somewhere and you have no idea what it did, and you just have to comb the entire level to see if something opened. And that was the whole game. And like you had to like solve like dumb puzzles and secrets in order to progress through the game. Whereas you see in here, I pressed this button and it opened a door right there.
Which you can see.
Which I can see. And it's just straightforward. So like, this is kind of the Heretic 2 that I've always wanted. Like the no frills, just action, no puzzle solving gameplay. Alright, so now that we're here, I can kind of show you what's going on with my points. So here, I have stats. So do I have your attention now?
You got my attention. I see stats. I'm all in.
Yeah, so I got stats, and then on the right here I have these perks. Now I can purchase these perks if I meet the stat requirement. So if I want Sprinter, I'm sorry, if I want Soul Collector, every monster you kill drops a soul, I need 7 Spirit. So I'm very far away from that. As you can see, the first one I got was Sprinter. 3 strength, 3 life, so that's what I did. And I got Sprinter, and that has so far served me really well. So I think right now the next best thing is this. Student. Get additional random stat point. That seems like something you should have early, so I will get that.
Okay.
And then I have 3 stat points to spend, so I can just maybe plan out the next thing that I want to get. And I'm thinking about... yeah, what were you saying?
So this is really cool because, you know, even though this type of genre isn't known for its stats, it kind of adds an extra layer of replayability in terms of, well, I played it this way. What if I do a different loadout of stats another way to see how it could change the game and the mechanics and how I play through it?
Yeah, although I do have a feeling that eventually I will have all of these. I don't know. I just have that feeling, though.
Okay.
But it's good that you mentioned that, because here are the weapon tree. So here's the axe. So I have like the base axe. It's just an axe. But there's 2 different directions that I can upgrade it. I can get the Bloodthirst, improves melee range by a meter. A meter? Good. And hits replenish your health. Cool. The other way, Spirit Stealer, damage and replenishes mana. So these do opposite things.
Yeah.
And you can only get one of them. So you get one, you're not going to know what the other. You're never going to get the other thing. It's locked. So like the pistol thing, the other side is gone forever because I chose hand cannon.
Gotcha.
So I think I want lifesteal though, because that just seems good. So
I mean, if you can hit them from farther away, you don't need to worry about damage.
I will take a 1 meter long axe. This is so good.
That gives you life too.
Yeah. And so I spent my 3 like upgrade points on this axe. I could have spent it on getting this magic spell Bomberman, but that's fine. Magic is for suckers. Oh no, wait, sorry. You like magic. But yeah, so I'm just gonna jump into another level here because like there's another thing I wanted to talk about that I like this game, as you know, if you couldn't already tell that I like this game. But another thing that I think is really cool about this, that even games like Doom, Wolfenstein, and oh, it's a boss.
Oh, hit him with that axe, man.
Even games like Doom, Wolfenstein, Blood, Shadow Warrior, Duke Nukem, like just go off the list. It's just all those games that back then kind of got wrong was the weapon balancing. There's like a very linear progression to the balance of the weapons. Like in Doom, once you get the shotgun, there's no reason to use the pistol. And then once you get the minigun, there's super no reason to use the pistol because it uses the same pistol ammo.
Yes.
And that the same goes for a lot of these games where you start with the pistol. You just never have to use it again because it's so weak, and using it will just end up getting you killed. And then it just, the end of the game just turns into a rocket launcher fest. Rocket launcher shotgun fest. And it's just because that's how the balancing of the game works, you know? And like, you know, they designed around that back then by making you start out with a pistol at the beginning of every episode. That's how they balanced that, was you always started with the weak gun. Whoa! Whoa! This guy's so buff! Whoa!
That dude is kinda angry now.
He's
at you,
so
man.
buff? Oh, he's hulking up? Look at this, he's no-selling all of my moves.
He looks like the Mom Bomb from Final Fantasy IV.
Oh, whoa, cool. Whoa, look at all this. One up.
He's destroyed his face.
I don't know what that was.
Grab it all, man. You gain additional life. You got a perk point, I think you did.
Whoa, cool. Oh, like permanent life?
Something, yeah. I think you got like a life. Yeah, you're at 6 life now.
Awesome, alright. Or, yeah, 6 lives, and then... Do I have permanent, like, max health?
I don't know. I wasn't looking at
okay.
your health number.
That's cool.
But
yeah,
but
so...
you know, that's a good point you were making about the, you know, the progression of weapons in those other games. Because as I'm watching you play this, you know, you're switching between all the different weapons, so they all have a use.
Yeah, they
like
all have a use.
With the knight. And it's kind of also like a bit of resource management, because you don't want to just throw all of your best weapons at trash dudes, and then you got nothing for, say, this boss. It kind of reminds me of Zero Tolerance on the Genesis.
Yeah.
Which kind of, it's kind of the same type of game, but resource management of your ammunition was important, because if you run out, you're...
Whoa, that's loud.
Yeah.
Whoop, okay, yeah. Yeah, resource management, yeah.
Yeah, so is there a lot of that in this where you gotta really be careful about how you use your ammunition?
The only thing you have to consider is that all your guns, I believe, use different ammo pools. That's it. That's the resource management, is just you know, if you don't have ammo for your dynamite, then like you want to save the dynamite for the shield guys, you know?
Yeah.
You don't want to be using this on zombies. So there's that. It just goes back to what I was saying earlier about making sure you are using the right tool for the job, and that comes with having enough ammo with that tool. Ooh, do I have... Okay, can I get a spell? Oh, I want that Storm Rage. I'll save up for the Storm Rage. So yeah, so what I was getting at with that whole that whole thing about weapon balance is it comes to this thing right here.
Mm-hmm.
You can upgrade your weapons. I've upgraded my starting axe to do something that's actually very useful. Like this axe, you start the game with this thing, you know? But now it gives me health. So I'm going to keep using this. Right? In Doom, when would you ever use your fists? Like, never. Like, if you're down to your fists...
no ammo.
If you're down to your fists, you're dead. Just give up. Like, you're dead. Unless, you know, you get the steroids. but that's just a temporary power up. But like in any other one of these games, you're down to your fists. Just call it. Just call it and reload your save, because you're not gonna make it. But in this, it's like, even the pistol, now it's a hand cannon. So this is like a gun that I can just continue using, and it's just, you know, it's not unique to this game, you know, that kind of like weapon balancing. They figured it out later. I'd say they figured it out by the time Doom 2016 came out. I feel like that game was the first one that got it down perfectly. Like, that was like... That game was so good, it was like a ballet of weapon juggling, is what that game was. And, you know, this game came out kind of in the wake of Doom 2016, like, so after that. So it's the gameplay in this game is informed by the advancements made by more recent games, but then applied them to this old school frame to great effect.
Now, the one thing I'm just noticing, because we're in a whole new kind of area, and you said yourself you haven't like finished the game yet. I'm noticing how nice that they have different areas, have different kind of like enemies.
Yeah,
like, here we got these abominable snowman type people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that was kind of my beef when I would play Doom or something like that. It's just
all the same.
Same dudes, and it doesn't really matter. But here, so I've only seen these two levels, Medieval and this like Frostland.
Yeah.
Were there any other areas that you were in that with different characters or designs?
No, so like what you saw was the end of the episode, of the first episode. So that was all I had played, was just fighting bats and succubus and knights and stuff. That's all that was the first episode. This is the first time I've seen like Yetis and this weird, like, look how creative this is, like a dude frozen in ice. Like, such creative enemy design.
And I have a feeling then I could take a reasonable guess that when you get to the next area, it's going to have different thematic creatures for that.
I really hope so. I really hope so. Like, this game so far has set the bar high that I'm expecting it.
Yeah.
And I might be a little disappointed if it doesn't, you know, keep up this kind of like great forward momentum. But still, I mean, I'm having a blast with this, man. This really takes me back. I can tell this guy has a fondness for those early shooters. Like, I definitely get that. I am running out of it. It's time to axe.
Yeah. You can tell that he really understands the mechanics of this type of genre and how it all works and fits together.
Not only that, because it's easy, because a lot of games do that, you know, a lot of games just do what the old games did, right? And that's actually kind of boring. Like, I kind of don't like that. But this guy, what he's done here is he's built upon that with a lot of modern sensibilities, like good weapon balance design, and, you know, good graphics that like hold up. There's like lots of enemies running around, you know, stuff. This game couldn't work on a PC from 1992. It just couldn't, you know. But yeah, that's that. Oh man, I'm just kind of going through this. Oh, I didn't get to go back to base?
Not on this one, not yet.
Okay. But yeah, I think we'll call it there. This was a real fun one, man. And like I said at the beginning, I got this on GOG for $4. Man, this is so worth that. Like, it's worth more than that, but like, man, what a great deal this is.
Yeah, for $4, I mean, I think any fan of this genre would be happy to pay $4.
Oh, easy.
For this game.
Easy, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for sitting down and checking out this game with me.
Oh, anytime, man. It was a pleasure to see this one. It looks really fun.
Yeah. All right, man. Y'all have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.
We'll catch you on the flip side, everyone.
All right.